there are a number of players that teams will consider. And Lamar Jackson, I don't think pertains to us at all. I just use him as an example because he's a big name and he's a player that everybody knows. And if he gets the exclusive franchise tag offer, Lamar Jackson will make $45.2 million next year. But here are some other players that could get tagged today. And there's a 2-week period, so it might not happen today, but it can happen over the next 2 weeks. Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker from Buffalo. And I was reading some stuff on Spot Track about him, which tracks all contracts in all leagues. They write, Edmonds saved his best NFL season for his contract year, playing out a $12.7 million fifth-year option in 2022. The Bills haven't been quiet about their eagerness to keep him, but Brandon Beane has done very little overpaying as Bills GM to date. Edmonds isn't a $21 million franchise tag candidate, but he's at least in consideration for the $17.4 million transition tender this month. Transition tag is you pay the average of the top 10 at the position. But
they have to agree to that, right?
Yes. Despite the fact that Buffalo currently sits about $20 million in the red right now. So meaning Buffalo's got financial problems. They'd have to cut a bunch of guys to keep him. But if Edmonds hits the open market, this is a name you brought up.
Yeah. Big linebacker, got a lot of speed, supports the run. He's a real solid player. He's 6'5" and plays all over the field. And he's young. He's like 24, 25 years old.
Yep. It feels like he would look fantastic in the Honolulu blue and silver.
Be an upgrade, without a doubt.
Does he get to free agency? I mean, when you're a team that's over the cap already, you have to decide: are we better with this player? And look, they've got their Michael Brockers too, right? They've got their guys under big contracts that they can cut without doing a lot. Like we all know, the Brockers, who has a big cap number and didn't play the second half of the season, letting him go is almost a foregone conclusion. That'll free up a bunch of cap space for the Lions.
Vaitai is another one.
Yeah. So they've got their guys too in Buffalo, but bottom line is, they still have to do some finagling to make it work for him. We want him to get to the open market. Now, the tag number on him is $21 million. I think that's right. I mean, is he seeking that in the open market?
I don't know what he's going to seek. He's a guy who has been really good, but he hasn't been spectacular. Like, he's not one of the top linebackers in the league.
He had his best year.
But he's really good. I think 120 tackles or something like that. And because he's so young and because he's versatile and can play against the run and the pass, he's definitely somebody that a lot of teams would be interested in. But $21 million, that's not where I would spend if I'm going to spend $20 million on a player, it's not going to be him.
Well, is it perhaps on another player that is eligible? And that is Daron Payne, the defensive tackle from the Washington Foot Commanders.
That is where I would spend my $20 million.
I thought you might. Payne finally started to put together in 2022, the final year of his rookie contract, and his calculated value in our system sits just south of $20 million per year. But the Commanders have already fed a lot of mouths on their defensive line, and they have plenty of other holes to fill if they seek to remain in divisional contention in the near future. Offering Payne a multi-year extension that provides team flexibility is the safer route here, but he likely walks into the open market this March.
Yep.
So the guy you want more is likely to hit the open market.
That's right. About it. I'm all about it. Absolutely. It's the known commodity. I don't have to start thinking. You're sitting at 6 in the draft. You're not likely to get Jalen Carter. Okay, so the next best defensive tackle, is it Brian Brzee? Is it Siaka Ika? Two guys played college ball. Brzee didn't have a spectacular career. He was the number one high school recruit in the country when he got there. Had an injury. Had some personal tragedy. happened that also weighed heavy on him and can explain why maybe he wasn't as productive as people think. But he's huge. He's got versatility to play inside or outside. There's a lot to like. Ika's a giant defensive tackle, 350-plus pounds, 6'3", 6'4", and a big run stopper. And both guys get penetration in terms of getting into the backfield to pressure the quarterback. But you don't know what they're going to be at the next level. Daron Payne, I know exactly what he is at the next level because he's been playing there for 4 years.
You're getting him now.
Yes.
You're not getting in Brise or Ika. You're getting a player that probably you get the most out of him in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
You're getting Daron Payne now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a now move.
It's now.
And that's,
hey, we got a window here.
Which, by the way, if you sign a player like that, if he gets to the open market, and again, they're predicting that he will, if you get a player like that, it changes your draft board.
Totally.
Yep.
And that's why I do it, because I know I've got, this is a known commodity, I got it. So now if I sign him, I can go in, and let's say that's the only big major free agent signing you make. You don't go out and you don't, couple that with one of the top defensive backs that are available. You just go big with this guy. Any other moves you make in free agency? Maybe you do sign a defensive back, but it's a lower contract. It's not it's not Dean, or it's not the guy from Philadelphia. You're going elsewhere with it. Okay, so now I got the 6th pick and I got the 18th pick.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can do a lot of things there, depending on who's going to be there. I'm warming up to the idea of having Tyree Wilson if he's there. I'm warming up to that at 6. But I'm likely to try to trade back as much as I can so that I can still get the top defensive back, the top cornerback in the draft, whether it's Devin Witherspoon or Christian Gonzalez, Joey Porter Jr., whoever it ends up being. I want to trade back. Hopefully it's like with Carolina. Maybe you can trade back with the Raiders, whatever it is. You're trading back there because those teams want to get the quarterback, and then you can get the top corner, and you've added more draft capital to the mix. And I might even double down on corners.
I'm going to challenge you.
Go at 9 and 18, take 2 corners.